I don't have a big problem with it. Just let the neighbors know.
I will call to order the meeting of the Lincoln County Board of Commissioners on this 15th day of September 2025. If you would, join me by standing for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Now we have a motion by Commissioner Carpenter. Any discussion? All right, hearing none. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, the agenda is passed. All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
All right, motion by Commissioner Mullen. Any discussion? All right, hearing none. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. So it passes. All right, we'll go to item 3, Planning Board recommendations. Jeremiah.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
So I have two groups of recommendations for you this morning. So you may recall we had some cases from August. The public hearings were on August 4th. And at the second meeting of the month, the board voted to postpone final decisions on these 4 zoning map amendments until this meeting this morning. So the first of those is zoning map amendment number 754. Troy LaHue was the applicant in that case. This was a request to rezone 3.8 acres from residential single family to general business. And that property is located on Unity Church Road, about 600 feet east of the intersection with Highway 16 business. The Planning Board voted 5-0 to recommend approval of the request. You have their adopted statement in your packet, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have for me.
Okay, anyone have any questions for Jeremiah?
Yes, sir. Jeremiah, did the staff initially recommend denial of this?
We did not. We recommended approval.
Do we have any idea what's going to go on that property?
Given that this is a rezoning to a conventional zoning district, there is not a specified use. We don't have a site plan. It could be, if rezoned, it could be any of the uses that are permitted in that new zoning district.
Thank you.
Okay. Any additional questions? Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to adopt the statement of consistency and reasonableness as presented by the Planning Board.
So moved.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Carpenter. Any discussion? All right. Any discussion?
I think it's a bad idea to zone something that we have no earthly idea what it's going to be, and I'm going to oppose it. That intersection is a mess, and not knowing what's going to go in there, nor how we're going to change the intersection, or if the person is, whoever they are willing to change the intersection so that it's not such a big mess, it's not even a school, when I came here this morning, it took me two lights to get through there, and it's not even the time of day that's the worst, so I'm going to oppose it.
Okay, so we still have a motion by Commissioner Carpenter to adopt the statement of consistency and reasonable as presented by the planning board. We had slight discussion from Commissioner Cecina. All right, all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
No.
All right, we have a 4-1 with Cecina for the no. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve ZMA 754.
So moved.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Mullen. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
No.
All right, 4-1. All right, so that is approved. So we will move on to ZMA 760.
So these next three are the same applicant, but they are three separate requests. They're three non-contiguous parcels or multiple parcels, but same applicant, three separate requests. So zoning map amendment number 760, Big A Ranch was the applicant in this case. This was a request to rezone a 0.98 acre parcel from residential single family to neighborhood business, and that property is located on the east side of St. James Church Road at the intersection with Glen Meadows Drive. The planning board voted 4-0 to recommend approval of this request. The planning staff had recommended denial. You have the planning board's adopted statement in your packet, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have for me.
Okay, anyone have any questions for Jeremiah?
So this is the one where I knew that the planning board had recommended one of them not be adopted, and I have to agree with the planning board on that matter.
Okay, so I will entertain a motion to adopt the statement of consistency and reasonableness as presented by staff in the August the 4th meeting. That is not consistent. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Cecina. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, so that passes. I will entertain a motion to deny ZMA 760 Big A Ranch LLC.
So moved.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Cecina. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, opposed? The ayes have it, so that is denied. So we are going to move to, we're going to jump ahead to 762.
So for ZMA 762, this was a request from Big A Ranch LLC to rezone a 0.98 acre parcel located on the east side of St. James Church Road, about 700 feet south of Highway 16 business, from residential single family to neighborhood business. The planning staff and the planning board both recommended approval of this request, and you have the planning board's adopted statement in your packet.
Okay, anyone have any questions for Jeremiah?
I do.
Okay.
So I believe I spoke too quickly on on the first one. I apologize for that and would be more than happy to change my vote if that's available. The one that most concerned me was the one that we just did that the staff said no to. Does that make sense?
So which, we have 760,
Yeah, that's what's got me all
which
kinds
was a 5-0
Yep,
unanimous.
yep. That was it's like a single little house there? Is that the, okay.
So which,
On St. James. Yeah, I'm okay with that. And I'm okay with the,
Y'all denied that one.
that's right.
right, that, we denied that one. I'm okay with that. And I'm sorry to be a little bit fuzzy this morning, but that's the one I'm most concerned about, is those three that the staff said no to. But the one that the staff said yes to, I'm good with. And if we can make a change of my vote on the first one that we looked at this morning,
On Unity Church.
no, not on Unity Church.
That's the one, that was the first one.
That was the first one.
So you voted no to that one.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yep. ZMA 754.
Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so 762, Jeremiah's presented, let me get a space. All right, so I'll entertain a motion to adopt an alternate statement of consistency and reasonableness.
So moved.
Okay, Commissioner Carpenter, if you would read that.
All right. CMA 762, this proposed amendment is consistent with the Lincoln County Comprehensive Land Use Plan and other adopted plans in that the property is part of an area designed by the land use plan as suburban commercial, which is suitable for a variety of commercial uses near high-volume roads and key intersections to serve some of the daily needs of surrounding residential neighborhoods. The proposed district will be located within an area that has an established mixture of uses, including residential and commercial. However, the proposed amendment is not reasonable in that the subject parcel is among a well-established row of single-family houses that currently serve as a transition along St. James Church Road to buffer the suburban commercial center and current use, including a school that front onto Highway 16 business. The area adjacent to the subject property consists of both neighborhood business zoning and industrial general zoning.
Okay. Does everyone understand the motion and the alternate statement of consistency and reasonableness as presented by Commissioner Carpenter? Any further discussion? All in favor of the alternate statement of consistency and reasonableness, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the ayes have it, that passes. I will entertain a motion to deny ZMA 762 Big A Ranch LLC applicant based on the findings of facts.
So moved.
We have a motion by Commissioner Carpenter. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So that is denied.
All right, so the final case from August for which a final decision has not yet been rendered is zoning map amendment number 761.
So I'll make the motion if everyone's okay with it. Due to the fact that this specific rezoning is approved, it would require that the residential structure be vacated within 90 days of approval. Based on the statement made during the public hearing, this could create a hardship on the property owners given that the two preceding cases were not approved. Therefore, upon advice of council, I will make a motion to postpone the decision of ZMA 761 Big A Ranch LLC applicant until October the 6th, 2025 meeting, allowing for the applicant and the property owners to determine if they would continue with the application. Does everybody understand that motion?
Yes.
So that motion is made by myself, Commissioner Lineberger. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So that is postponed until the October 6th.
Can I speak for just a second?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Leahy? Yours was passed. Just, there won't be any postponement of yours. It's done.
Jeremiah 764.
All right, we'll move on to this round of cases for which the public hearings were held last Monday, September 8th. So zoning map amendment number 764. The applicant in this case was requesting the rezoning of a 2.38 acre parcel from residential single family to rural residential. That property is located on the north side of Maybank Lane, about 1,300 feet west of Junebug Road. The planning staff and the planning board both recommended approval of this request, and you have the planning board's adopted statement in your packet.
Anyone have any additional questions for Jeremiah? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the statement of consistency and reasonableness as presented by the planning board.
So moved.
All right, motion by Commissioner Carpenter. Any further discussion? All right, hearing none. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. I'll entertain a motion to approve ZMA 764.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Carpenter. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. That one passes.
The next one is zoning map amendment number 765. The applicants in this case, Joseph and Jamie Woody, were requesting the rezoning of 3.67 acres from residential single-family to rural residential. The remainder of the 5-acre parcel is already zoned rural residential, so this would align the entire parcel, put the entire parcel under one zoning district. The property is located on the west side of We Hunt Store Road, about 1,700 feet north of Flay Road. The planning board recommended approval of this request, and you have their adopted statement in your packet.
We have any additional questions for Jeremiah? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the statement of consistency and reasonableness as presented.
I'll make that
So
motion.
moved.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Moylan. Any discussion? All right, hearing none. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Entertain a motion to approve ZMA 765.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Mullen. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. 766.
The applicant in zoning map amendment number 766 was requesting the rezoning of a 1.285 acre portion of a 13.81 acre parcel from residential suburban to neighborhood business. The remainder of the property would remain zoned residential suburban. This property is located at 5016 Reepsville Road. The planning board recommended approval of this request, and you have their adopted statement in your packet.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to adopt the statement of consistency and reasonableness as presented by the planning board.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Patton. Any further discussion? Okay. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve ZMA 766.
So moved.
All right, motion by Commissioner Patton. Any further discussion? All right, hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, it passes. 767.
For zoning map amendment number 767, Crystal Wilson, the applicant, is requesting the rezoning of 2.13 acre portion of a larger 8.54 acre parcel from residential suburban to neighborhood business. The remainder of that parcel would remain residential suburban. This property is located at 4910 East Highway 150 in the Pumpkin Center area. You have the planning board's adopted statement in your packet, and they did recommend approval of this request.
Okay, we have any additional questions for Jeremiah? I will entertain a motion to adopt the statement of consistency and reasonableness as presented by the planning board.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Carpenter. Any further discussion? All right, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, I will entertain a motion to approve ZMA 767.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Carpenter. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right.
And lastly, we had a request to amend the Unified Development Ordinance. So a zoning text amendment for that from the planning staff. And the requested amendment is to remove riding stables from the table of permitted uses. Those are statutorily protected under the agricultural statutes in North Carolina. And then to remove winery from the permitted uses table. As defined in our ordinance, a winery requires an on-site vineyard. So yet again, that would end up, by definition, being qualified as a bona fide farm use that's protected under the North Carolina general statutes. And zoning is precluded on those types of uses. So the request is to remove both of those. One point of clarification, a standalone winery as an industrial use without a vineyard would still be a permitted use under industrial districts. And so those are classified differently. So this would simply remove standalone wineries as a possibility from residential districts. But really, they couldn't have been that anyways because our standards required a vineyard, which makes it a farm use. So a couple of cleanups there. And the planning board recommended approval of that request. You have their adopted statement, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have for me on this.
Do we have any additional questions for Jeremiah? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the statement of consistency and reasonableness. All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Cecina. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, entertain a motion to approve UDO 2025-4.
So moved.
All right, motion by Commissioner Carpenter. Discussion. All right, all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So that is approved. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
All right, next we have public hearing, private road, Songbird Lane, Ms. Sane, Susan Sane.
Chairman, Commission, good morning.
Good morning.
This morning I have Raquel Romero. She is our new 911 address and tech with me today. So we are here this morning to propose a private road naming of Songbird Lane. This private drive is located off of Ships Lane. It's in the Catawba Springs Township, and it meets all the requirements and the addressing and road naming ordinance. We have advertised this in the Denver Citizen and posted it as required. So at this time, we'd like to request approval for the proposed name as Songbird Lane.
So moved.
Hold on, I have to open the
Sorry.
public hearing.
Oh, problem.
I'll open the public hearing concerning the proposed private road named Songbird Lane. Seeing no one signed up to speak, I will declare the public hearing closed. Now I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Sorry, so moved.
All right, motion made by Commissioner Cecina. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So that passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we'll go next to the public hearing, approval of fiscal year 2027, NCDOT 5310 capital purchase of service transportation grant. Ms. Catherine Sane.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Okay, so I'm here this morning to present an FY27 grant. We are requesting from the North Carolina Department of Transportation that we have received this grant for the last 5 years. What this grant will do is allow us to partner with veteran services to offer rides to the grocery stores, pharmacies, Walmarts, also to doctor's appointments for veterans, those over the age of 65, or those that are legally disabled. So we're trying to fill that gap where people may fall through some of the other grant requirements and capture that population so they can continue to do what they need to do so they can live at home for as long as possible. We've requested $64,000 from NCDOT. We will have a 20% match, which will be $16,000. I will be budgeting that in our FY27 budget, so it will not cost anything to the board. With that, I will yield to any questions.
Does anyone have any questions? Okay. I will open the public hearing concerning FY27 NCDOT 5310 capital purchase service transportation grant. All right, seeing no one signed up to speak, I will declare the public hearing closed, and I will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
All right, motion by Commissioner Patton. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, that passes. Thank you.
Thank y'all very much.
All right. Next, we'll go to economic development projects and workforce development. Cliff.
Good morning. I say I enjoyed this bright morning visits with you and the agenda changing to that. Thank you so much. And love seeing the evening as well. But just want to note, appreciate the changes many others do too. Thank you. So first I want to give you, the clicker here, update on We are moving with the funding we're given this year, used for our creative workforce development efforts. Excited we'll be addressing one option with that after this in the workshop with the training center and a grant opportunity. But speaking specifically to that, those funds are allocated in our current budget. A very effective program. In fact, the best that I know of and that we found and that our industries, many will agree with helping grow our pipeline of talent, particularly with our younger people and the wonderful opportunities they can have in not just advanced manufacturing, but the trades, healthcare, life sciences, and others, is through helping families and students be able to afford the college now fees with taking those college courses to help earn a two-year degree or to pursue what those can provide for these students by taking the early college classes through Gaston College. And a lot of these that pair up with what they're also taking through the Lincoln County School of Technology. Our local Rotary Club has probably raised a strong amount of money and actually doing so right now in the fall to help offset the cost of the fees associated with that. So if a student goes to take, say they're taking welding, they can have about $1,500 worth of fees with a kit of things, supplies they have to have. And if they can't afford that, oftentimes those young Lincoln County students don't consider or aren't provided that to consider. If they want to get into nursing, that has the fees with it also, as does everything, of course, that are borne by them for having taken those courses. But being able to offset and cover those costs for our young students that can't provide it on their own, we found through that program has helped open doors for just many dozens of young students from Lincoln County. And this funding is particularly going to help in the second semester. The Lincoln County Schools and Rotary Rooted does have enough funding to allocate to help many during the first semester, but it's those second semester courses that they often have to have in order to go towards that two-year degree that they can have when they get out of high school and have zero debt in college and already have a wonderful skill for providing an incredibly strong lifestyle and income, whether it be in any of those. The trades, healthcare, advanced manufacturing is a true game changer for many families in Lincoln County who this student might be the first one to be able to pursue something like that, and now they can, and the funding you've allocated to that is going to kick in and really help with that. I'll have some better numbers, what that's performing for this month, for this semester. We'll be back before you with our Industrial Appreciation Month proclamation in early October, and we'll have even more for you on that then as we move forward. But we want to thank you for that funding. That's really making a difference for Lincoln County students and will help to grow that pipeline. There's nothing that can put these young people in a career faster than making sure there's no barrier to them learning and getting those degrees and moving forward. So thank you for that. In an effort to increase the number of these jobs and opportunities and filling this great amount of new buildings, most of these are all privately funded. I'll give you an update on a few of those here in a moment that helps us to market Lincoln County. We have done something new for us. We get a lot of our leads through just our networks with the Charlotte area brokers, the industrial site selectors. The number of those professionals is growing so much around Charlotte because of the great growth of North Carolina and in our region. But we've contracted on through our current budget with a company called Global Site Location Industries that'll work on our behalf to help grow our pipeline of available of new potential projects that fit us to take advantage of this wonderful opportunities provided by programs like Rotary Rooted and your funding for that to create more jobs in Lincoln County. This company has a great reputation. I love that they only will take on 5 clients per state. We're the 5th one in North Carolina and the only in the region. So they'll be representing us at trade shows, working with different site consultants to introduce what we have and then bringing to us what they learn about that's available. So this will help grow our available projects that we have and help us hone in on that with just another tool to help us grow Lincoln County and to keep in line with your set strategic plan, which includes growing the industrial square footage and those jobs and those investments in Lincoln County. Recent event we helped put together and be a part of through the Charlotte Regional Business Alliance was a regional event Friday back in August to work all day with these regional brokers based out of Charlotte. A lot of these we see on a monthly basis looking at our product. Lincoln Commerce Center has been a great catalyst for getting these individuals to come look at Lincoln County as the Lincoln County Industrial Park has over the years. And I have to tell you, a lot of buzz about the continued growth at Lincoln Commerce Center, a lot of great buzz about what's coming with Riverbend. People can see it now. I've got a great slide on that from an aerial from just a few weeks ago to show you in a minute. But I'll give you some of the feedback I got. We did one-on-one, about half-day roundtables after a big general session with them. Lincoln County is in their mind and thoughts. A lot of the great things y'all are doing, preparing for growth, making for smart growth, the performance of our schools, Gaston College, and just the different things that are offered here. Heard a lot of buzz about downtown Lincoln, how people love it here. But just know the things that y'all are doing from leadership is being noticed, and it helps our job in economic development to be successful. So if you've driven down 16, see the clearing in Riverbend, which takes such a long time coming and took a lot of hard work on your behalf and county staff. This is a big aerial from that taken 2.5 weeks ago. If you look towards the bottom, that little cluster of things, that's earth moving equipment. That's how big this is. So this is the first phase. It is the predominant land, not all, but a lot of what will be the industrial. There's some more there, but they're not going to take that down until market says it's time to. But you can see where the road comes in now. You can really see how awesome the topography is out there. All along we've known that this was the best piece, this big, that close to Charlotte Douglas Airport for a business industrial park, to put that traffic down there off our main roads and in a place that works well for that, works logistically. But very proud to see this. It's been a long time coming. Next, showing some things that we have available. We showed you this when it was under construction a few updates back. This is in the Lincoln County Industrial Park, the first building on the left when you come in. This is 177,000 square feet right there on Finger Mill Road. It was built by Crescent Properties. We call this actual Midway 321. And great building, high ceilings, laid out as it should be. It's getting good traffic. We've been out there twice in the last couple of months. And one great thing here, this building can be bought or leased. So you don't always get that option we do here, so we're getting to see those clients that are interested in leasing only and those that also want to look at buying only, maybe a combination of the two. Also had some interest from local industry in this, which is great. Help them keep creating a bigger footprint here in Lincoln County. Another opportunity that's seeing some great traffic. I want to see some more. I'm sure it will. But this is building number 2 in Lincoln Commerce Center, built by Crow Holdings. It's 367,000 square feet, great 36-foot ceiling, wonderful Class A, great offices in there, laid out for distribution, logistics, but also for manufacturing. But we're getting a lot of looks. So just to give this example for the public to know. There's been times that Lincoln County and the taxpayers bore the cost of spec buildings, and those turned in great results, great returns from Lincoln County. But this is two buildings that are being built 100% in private money. Doesn't put that risk on the taxpayers, but they're here because of the investments in infrastructure that made it possible to be here, and also for the investments in education that helps make us a great location for that future talent to go to work and have careers in privately built buildings like these. And show where that is. This is the most northernmost building on the west side of Lincoln Commerce Center. You almost cannot see it for the trees, but it's there and getting us some great attention. Do want to say the big building there, 534K, this GNEM, was out there the week before last getting an update, walking through the building. They'll start production here in a few months. They're getting really close. Inside of that building is fantastic. All the equipment, the offices, how they're appointed for the future individuals that will work there is wonderful, and look forward to having all of you out there with us when it is operational. We can get in there and show it to everyone, but great to see that. It's just a perfect example of another product that we're relying on totally overseas that now is being made in the United States and making us more self-sufficient and less reliant. So we have revamped our website. It's our portal to the outside world. It's amazing how many hits it gets, how many people get their first look at the different opportunities in Lincoln County from an economic development standpoint, or business creation or business expansion wise by going there. We've redone everything about the site is new, bigger, better, faster. So I urge people to check it out, take a look at it. We're still making some tweaks, so if you see anything in there that does not function, please let us know and we'll fix it. But we're checking it daily and excited about what that is doing for us. And another effort to get out there and help grow our local talent. We enjoy a world of strong foreign direct investment in this community, and these are companies predominantly out of Europe that want to be here. The backbone of industry around the Charlotte region is largely that. And so Carol Brown will be next week going several other communities through the Charlotte Regional Business Alliance on our first in a number of years European campaign. We have 11 visits set up with potential industries that have strong interest in the Carolinas next week. So it'll be a fast-paced week for her, but more update on the results of that when she comes back, but excited about the opportunity. Those trips are a lot of driving and a lot of meeting and a lot of working, but they're always worth it when we can go. Just giving an example of how we show our sites and buildings on the site. Very in-depth data from a labor force standpoint, everything from housing, our communities, our schools are there. But participants that are looking here can even create their own brochure about locally, everything about a site, building in our community. But great to have that tool out there working for us 24/7, 365, anywhere in the world. And lastly, we just wanted to show you all this. We had some great help from county planning. Maps are so important for what we do and telling our pictures, showing what's available, and our proximity to markets, to labor around the Charlotte, just how you get around Lincoln County. And really thankful that county planning built these for us. We fed them everything that we're getting feedback from consultants and clients that we need, and they really just hit the nail on the head in creating this for us. But I want to thank the county staff that did this. Thank you so much. And they help us so much with these, but I did want to share that with you and thank them. And with that, that's it. I'll be glad to answer any questions.
All right. Thank you, Cliff.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, item number 8, request to add new full-time position for environmental health. Ms. Lena Jones and Brittany Abernathy. And before Lena gets started, I will want to congratulate her on her win for Dancing with Our Stars. Good job.
We heard
Thank
she
you.
beat you.
What's that?
I said, we heard she beat you.
She did. She had a little bit more experience too, so.
Good morning, Commissioners. The Environmental Health Department is requesting the addition of a licensed soil scientist with a fiscal year impact of approximately $76,000, including fringe benefits. Currently, there is no licensed soil scientist position, which creates reliance on regional consultants for complex lots, which delays permitting and service to applicants. An in-house licensed soil scientist would provide the advanced expertise needed for challenging soil evaluations, allowing environmental health specialists to focus on routine inspections and daily operations. Lena is here if you have any questions pertaining to the position specifically.
I do.
Go ahead.
Is that gonna be enough money? When we talked, it seemed that we needed to spend a little more money than that. We're okay? All right. If you say so.
Okay, we have any additional questions? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the position requested for full-time environmental health department as presented.
So moved.
All right, motion by Commissioner Cecina. Any further discussion? All in favor, indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, it is approved. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Number 9, assignment of split jurisdiction, Andrew Bryant.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the board. So often we get in the routine of going through the motions and approving things and going through types of agenda items that we've been through before. This is not the case with this one. This is the first time that we have ventured down the path of assignment of split jurisdiction. This is an option afforded to us by North Carolina General Statute 160A. And I think the best way to summarize this, it allows local governments to exercise some common sense when it comes to planning and development related regulations on properties where you do have jurisdiction splits. This property here is located off of Lehus Lane, and if the IT staff could scroll down one more page, it would be great. You can see here where the bottom, I guess, third of this property is in Lincolnton's ETJ. It's their extraterritorial jurisdiction. It's where they apply only zoning and planning related jurisdiction there. This property came onto the radar as they were proposing to subdivide this piece of property. Lincolnton's regulations would not allow the subdivision of the property. Lincoln County's regulations would. So we are proposing that the Board of Commissioners consider this assignment of split jurisdiction. The Lincolnton City Council have already passed a similar resolution. And to go over real briefly what this will do and what it will impact. It will impact zoning and land use regulation, subdivision regulation, site plan review and approval, special use permits and variances, Building permits and inspections, that was already covered because we have those jointly anyway. Code enforcement for development regulation violations under Lincoln County's Unified Development Ordinance and any other planning-related items. What this doesn't affect, it doesn't affect taxation of these parcels. It doesn't affect the provision or cost structure of municipal services, including water, sewer, or solid waste, or and electric, since Lincoln is an electricity, emergency service provisions, or any other non-regulatory governmental programs not captured under North Carolina Statute, General Statute 160D. Again, this is a new process for us, but again, we think that this just makes good sense to proceed with this on this particular parcel. Any questions on this proposal?
Anyone have any questions? Okay, then I'll entertain a motion to approve the assignment of split jurisdiction.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Mullen. Any further discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, it passes. Thank you. All right, number 10, notice of award of pump station 29 upgrade. Jonathan.
Thank you for your time today, Commissioners. I'm here to present the notice of award for a pump station upgrade we have. This is our pump station 29. It is in the Norman Point subdivision off of Little Fork Cove Road. This went out to bid in July. We had to rebid it because we only had one respondent. The bids were open on July 15th. Lock Lane Construction was the low bidder on this one. Their bid was $398,422. This project will be to rehab the wet wells. We have a lot of low pressure sewer coming into it. It just seeps through everything, so it'll be a redesign of the electrical systems. It'll put in a manhole outside of the pump station that we can pump around that pump station and add some extra security for that pump station. Any questions on that?
And so I won't be getting any more phone calls about smelly pump stations?
I doubt that.
We are working with a new company on odor control. Our previous company kind of left us high and dry in the customer service realm. So we are installing new odor control on many of our pump stations. So hopefully that one, I think, is one that gets new odor control. We are working diligently to conclude those problems. With any low pressure sewer system, though, you're going to have smells.
All right. I'll entertain a motion to approve the notice of award for pump station 29 upgrades as presented.
So moved, sir.
Motion by Commissioner Cecina. Any discussion? All right, hearing none. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that passes. Thank you, Jonathan. All right, number 11, an ordinance amending Chapter 92 Animal Service Ordinance of the Lincoln County Code of Ordinance. Ms. Gilbert, and before we start, I just want to make sure that everybody's understanding this portion, what we're approving today, or what we're looking at today for approval, does not include anything with the exotic animals. Everybody understand that?
And will that be brought back at a later time?
That is going to be brought back at a later time. That is so.
Thank you.
We talked about that last Monday. I just want to make sure everybody's aware. Ms. Gilbert, you have the floor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. So, like you said, this is an ordinance to amend Chapter 92. This is everything but exotic animals. One thing that Commissioner Carpenter pointed out that I know we had discussed and I failed to change, but I can change, or you guys, if you vote to approve, you can vote to approve with this amendment. On page 16, under declassification, it says any animal that has been deemed potentially dangerous that becomes property of Lincoln County. So that is a dangerous dog that comes into our custody and remains our custody, may be declassified at the discretion of the Animal Services Director or their designee. This was brought up because of some animals that have been deemed potentially dangerous, and it's determined by staff and the director that it more than likely, their actions were based on their surroundings, not the dog itself. And this is potentially dangerous only. This is not level 1 or level 2 dangerous. But what Commissioner Carpenter is requesting is that instead of the discretion of the Animal Services Director, maybe declassified by the Lincoln County Dangerous Dog Appellate Board. Instead of having it be on one person to make that determination, have it instead be with the appellate board. So if all members are okay with that, I would ask that you approve this. This will require unanimous vote to pass today. If it does not, it will have to be brought back again and then can obtain a majority vote. Any questions for me?
Anyone have any questions? Everyone understand the amendment? So I'll entertain a motion to approve the ordinance amending Chapter 92 Animal Service Ordinance of the Lincoln County Code of Ordinance with the amendment that Ms. Gilbert just talked about. Everybody understand that?
So move.
All right, motion made by Commissioner Patton. Any further discussion? All right, hearing none. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, the ayes have it. That is passed with that amendment. All right, now we'll go to public comments. This is where the citizens are allowed to address the board. If you're speaking as an individual, you get 3 minutes. If you're speaking as a group, the group needs to be here and be identified, and we'll give you 5 minutes if it's deemed that is a group. So first on the list, we have Michael Schrum.
Members of the commissioners, I appreciate your time.
If you would, state your name and address, please, sir.
Michael Schrum, 1626 Home Trail, Lincolnton, North Carolina, 28092.
Thank you, sir.
I'm here representing the Long Shoals community, which is covered by the South Fork Volunteer Fire Department. Back in July, we had a structure fire that resulted in the double fatality of a couple. The South Fork Fire Department responded to that call in 17 minutes and 40 seconds. Every neighboring department in that area arrived on the scene before them, dealt with the structure fire. I'm not saying that their response time being that long could have affected the death of the couple, but it's obvious that that amount of time, it could have made a difference one way or the other. The issue was brought up at the August Board of Directors meeting at South Fork Fire Department. The firefighters and members of the community asked for the fire chief and the board both to be removed, which was a little excessive, in my opinion, but the fire chief was not removed. He refused to resign, and the board did not vote him out at that time. At the August Board of Directors meeting, it was brought up again that there was a conflict of interest in regards to the treasurer of the fire department being the spouse of the fire chief. The board stated that they had bylaws in effect that dealt with the conflict of interest and the chief's wife being on board. Anything dealing with the fire chief directly, she would not be allowed to vote because of a clearly obvious conflict of interest. Last Thursday night, they had a closed board meeting and attempted to remove the chief again. With their bylaws of the conflict of interest, the fire chief's wife was not to be allowed to vote. They allowed her to vote, and it ended up in a 3-3 tie, protecting her husband's job. If I can read to you from the Roberts Rule of Order 45-4, no member should vote on a question in which has direct personal or monetary interest to them. If the board states that whatever affects her husband, she's not allowed to vote on, why was she allowed to come in and vote and go to a 3-3 tie to save her husband's job? This service is, the South Fork Fire Department is under contract by y'all to provide public safety protection to the members of my community. I think it needs to be looked at and addressed, and there's a lot of concerns for that community. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you, sir. All right, next we have Gunny Hull. If you would state your name and address when you get to the podium, sir.
Gunny Hole, 319 North Poplar Street, Langston, North Carolina. I want to read something to you that you probably, maybe you don't even know, but I know the majority of citizens don't know. This is our North Carolina General Statute, Chapter 11, under oaths. It says, oaths and affirmations shall be ministered with solemnity. Whereas lawful oaths for discovery of truth and establishing right and necessary and highly conducted to the important end of good government, and being most solemn appeals to Almighty Yah as the omniscient witness of truth and the just omnipotent avenger of falsehood, and whereas lawful affirmations of the discovery of truth and establishing right are necessary and highly conducive to the important end of good government. Therefore, such oaths and affirmations ought to be taken and ministered with the utmost solemnity. And it goes on, says to the parties be sworn to lay his hand upon the Holy Scriptures, and then in breaking out a few parts, but it says, if he should swerve from the truth, he may be justly deprived of all the blessings of that holy book, and made liable to that vengeance which he hath impregnated on his own blood, or on his own head. And then it says in the next one, it says, when the person to be sworn shall be consciously scrupulous to taking a book oath in manner aforesaid, he shall be excused from laying hand upon and touching the holy gospel, and the oath required shall be ministered in the following manner, namely, he shall stand with his right hand lifted towards heaven, and taken and his solemn appeal to the supreme Yah, and also in token that he should swerve from the truth, he should draw down the vengeance of heaven upon his head, and shall introduce the intended oath with these words. And it, breaking it out a little bit, but it says, do appeal to Yah as a witness of the truth and avenger of falsehood, as I shall answer the same the great day of judgment, where the secrets of all hearts shall be known. So I just want to remind you that that's the oath that you also took, that you probably didn't even hear that read to you. But I know those in court do not either, which it should be read before every court sentence as well. But I want to mention to you real quick here, the time last, is about corruption, which falls in on your oath. It seems like as more and more is coming to me, I'm hearing more about questionable things that fall under corruption. And I want to mention that we had our old courthouse was plenty big when we had COVID. Our jailhouse was plenty big when we had COVID, because only necessary things were brought up, yet we spent a pile of money. I've run out, but I'm checking on a lot of other corruption in land and using credit cards.
We'll go on to County Manager's report.
Thank you, Chairman. So I've handed all of you a packet. It's just an abbreviated packet of the budget preparation manual for fiscal year 27 that will go out to the department managers and respective staff tomorrow at the staff meeting. I want to make a few highlights here real quick in my report to first of all note that we've updated the change in schedule pursuant to our adjustment in the regular meetings to have the work sessions. We're going to incorporate budget meetings into the work sessions as requested by the board. We will also add an additional budget retreat as requested on a Friday, which will kind of be a final review. But otherwise, it'll be on a Monday unless we have some change in schedule and we need to utilize one of the alternate dates. Now, because of this change with the Mondays, it will push up our meeting schedule somewhat, so that I just ask you to bear with Deanna and the finance team and I, because we're going to have to hustle a little bit on that first part of the budget meetings. But after that, we should get back in a normal schedule. Also, we did make an adjustment pursuant to the board's direction in the last budget workshop, which we adjusted our non-asset inventory minimum to 2,500 in the budget manual prep. That'll help to make us work a little more efficiently with the departments, and that was something we discussed with y'all in the last year's budget. Just two quick project updates. Same Family Library, the steel, as you know, if you've been by there to get the beam signed, has been erected and the project is on schedule. And also Eaglewood, which is our contractor on the airport, they are back on site working on phase one. And I think hopefully within about 60 days, assuming weather holds, we should see a finalization of that part of that project. They will be here probably today for the budget work session for a brief moment. And then I just want you to remind, for September the 30th at 10 a.m., the Board of Elections will be conducting their simulated election exercise. So just be aware of that in case you want to participate. And that concludes my report unless you have any questions.
Anyone have any questions? All right, we'll move on to County Attorney's report.
Brief update, we are working now. I'm always in ordinances, I feel like. So right now, we are working on the solid waste ordinance with Andrew and his staff. So that will be coming before you guys in the next few months. One update on litigation. I do have a motion for default judgment in Superior Court on Thursday for the Hodges International lawsuit. So hopefully that one is coming to an end. So that is all I have to report unless you guys have any questions.
Okay, thank you. Any county commissioner have anything to report at this time? Okay. Any vacancies or appointments to attend to? None at this time, okay. Other business, so we have another DAR Constitution Week proclamation. So Buzz will come around to the front and do this proclamation with the other chapter of the DAR.
And let me first say that I deeply apologize for not doing it when we did the other one. I did not know that we had two organizations in Lincoln County, and that is my bad. And I deeply apologize that we did not do it when we did the other one. So I'd like you ladies to come up now and receive your proclamation from the Forney Creek DAR. Am I correct? Okay. Or is it Furnace Creek? Someone was supposed to be here.
Is
Is anyone here from that chapter? Okay, we were told somebody was gonna be here, all right. Then,
All right, let me just read it out.
go ahead and read it out.
Sure. Whereas it is a privilege and duty of the American people to commemorate the 238th anniversary of the drafting of the Constitution of the United States of America with the appropriate ceremonies and activities, and whereas Public Law 915 guarantees the issuance of a proclamation each year by the President of the United States designating September the 17th through September 23rd, Constitution Week. Now therefore be it resolved that the Lincoln County Board of Commissioners do hereby proclaim the week of 17 through 23 as Constitution Week, and urge all citizens to study the Constitution and reflect on the privilege of being American with all the rights and responsibilities which that privilege involves. Witness thereof, I hereto set my hand in course of this seal to be affixed, adopted the 15th day of September. Jamie Lineberger, Chairman.
All right, thank you, Bud.
Yes, sir.
So now I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'm with you. So moved.
Hold on.
We got a letter.
Yes, sorry, that needs to be another business too, sorry about that. So, we were made aware of a incident that took place here in the county, and we had some staff members that go over and beyond the call of duty, and we appreciate that. So now we are going to present those members of the staff a letter from the board of showing appreciation. So if I'll turn it over to Ms. Farmer if she wants to hand those letters out, and if she would like to read that letter, I would greatly appreciate that.
behalf of the Lincoln County, we want to extend our deepest appreciation to the staff and Lincoln County Senior Services Center for your extraordinary response during a medical emergency on the morning of August 21st, 2025. In a moment that demanded compassion, quick thinking, and solid leadership, your entire team responded with grace and professionalism. Through your calm presence, immediate coordination with emergency services, and heartfelt support for both the patron and one another, you demonstrated the very best of what public service should be. Your actions are a powerful reminder of the strength and heart that define Lincoln County service to our community. We thank you sincerely for all that you do for our seniors and for one another.
Look at me and smile. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you. Okay, thank y'all for reminding me on that one. So now, at this time, I will entertain a motion to adjourn, and we'll take about a 10-minute break before we move into our work session.
So moved.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Carpenter. Any further discussion? All in favor, indicate by saying aye. Aye.